All right, welcome to the podcast. We don't even got a name for it yet. We think we're going to change it from 302 Podcast to Coach He Is Trash Podcast. It's your host, Adrian, a.k.a. It's Only 1 a.m., a.k.a. One Day A, a.k.a. The Heartbreak Kid. I'm here with Nile, Style, a.k.a. The Mole, a.k.a. Friend Zone Breaker.
I'm still going across, growing accustomed to the Mole nickname. I'm not really down with it yet, but it's growing on me a little bit. The fans like it, so I like it.
The fans like it. That's all that matters. Let me take my shades off so I can really get in my bag right now.
You gotta take off the Urkel glasses.
Take them off. First thing I want to talk to you about now. I'm gonna let everybody know this is a sports podcast. We are kid friendly. We are family friendly. I am in no way misogynistic or what's the other word I'm looking for?
Sexist.
I'm not sexist. I don't even know how to say the word. I don't even know how to say the word. That's how I know
it's
I'm
not in your vocabulary.
It's not even me. But I want to start off with what the fans are saying. This is not me. This is coming from the fans. These are comments and emails you guys send to us. I read them. And my first topic of discussion is, why does everything that women do flop? The only thing that doesn't flop that chicks do is porn. Can we speak on this? Because movies are flopping. You got Black Widow, flop.
No.
Ocean's 8, flop.
No.
Ghostbusters, flop. Anything with Tiffany Haddish and she the lead character, flop. And I say flop like it didn't make their money back. Once again, this is a sports podcast, but if you're not making your money back, is that not a flop?
First of all, I want to start by saying that everything that Adrian said about not being a misogynist or a sexist, and that this podcast is family friendly, throw it out the window. It's wrong. We record this podcast at like 12 a.m. midnight, so you know it's not family friendly. But I'd have to do the research on the box office numbers for, you said Ocean's 8 and like Girls Trip. I know those were not like financial flops. But
they made money, but they didn't make the money back. So if it cost you $300 to produce and you only got $150 back, that's a flop.
Ocean's 8, you tell me Ocean's 8 and Girls Trip did not make a profit.
Now Girls Trip did make a profit because it was cheap to produce. Okay. It made the money back. But Ocean's 8 did not make a profit. No, it didn't. Because they had to pay all the stars.
I don't think that the movies themselves are bad. You're somebody who probably never even took a chance to watch most of the movies. I saw Ocean's 8 in theaters. The movies aren't bad. It's just people like you who make up the majority of moviegoers. Yeah, who are like, it's the chick movie. I don't even want to see them anyway. I don't really care. So it's not that the movies are bad and it's like, the chicks are putting out a movie and it flopped and, it's just not good. It's that most of the moviegoers, people who are like, hey, I want to go see a movie, don't want to see the chick. So it's not, it's not bad quality. It's just sexism.
I agree. I'm not misogynistic. I'm not sexist.
That's the definition of it. Oh, it's women in it.
I said it's the fans that are communicating this to me. I'm not saying I said it.
Okay, so maybe not you then. The fans are sexist.
You trying to kill my sponsorship. Like, I don't got Budweiser sponsorships coming through the mail. It's not confirmed yet, but it's on the way, okay?
This beer is definitely delicious. And I'm not being
sipping
sarcastic.
on Budweiser if you're not watching this via YouTube. But another thing, so I give you credit for that. The movies are great. Females can act. But why is it that male society only supports females when it's porn? Because porn numbers are through the roof.
I don't think you're listening to yourself speak. Men are only interested in sex. No, is this a revelation in the year 2020?
This is not me speaking. This is fan talk. Fans are saying that.
But I don't even understand why the question needs to be asked. In 2020, you're going to sit here and ask me, how come men are only interested in sex?
Yes, I'm asking you that. Because I have no idea.
What the fuck do you want me to say? It's been going on for centuries. If there was porn back in if there was like real like video porn, like that level of pornography back in like, the 1600s, I'm sure women would have taken over the world.
If there was porn back in the 1600s, we would have no World War III. Or not World War III, because that's coming. We would have no World War I.
Women probably would be in charge. They probably would have ended up tricking somebody into owning the shit.
Women in charge.
They probably would have tricked their way to the top and then taken over.
I'm not laughing at the fact that women can't be in charge. I'm laughing at the fact that, I'm laughing. It's funny. But
that made sense.
Let's move on to a topic that WNBA finally got paid. I think with that extra money, because they're getting the lowest player or the league average like $100,000. I'm thinking now we're going to start seeing some alley-oops and some dunks because we're paying them enough to be able to afford the training of NBA players. So I want to see some dunks. I want to see some alley-oops.
Now, here's the thing. That's ridiculous. And also, we're not paying them anything. You are not a WNBA fan. You've never bought a ticket to a game.
Hell
You've
no.
probably never watched them on TV. So you don't contribute anything to their revenue.
No,
so
I
their
watch.
sport is not for you. They have fans, and they're going to keep doing the things that bring their fans back.
Okay.
They're not catering to you.
Okay, you said I've never watched a WNBA game.
I said you probably.
Let me
I
tell
know you never bought a
Let me
ticket.
tell you, I never bought a ticket. Hell no. If I wanted to go see clowns play, I'd go to the circus. But let me tell you another thing here. Let me tell you another thing, Bucko. I have watched female sports before. I've watched volleyball on TV. I've watched beach volleyball on TV. I've seen tennis on TV.
What you're about to say is sexist. I already know it.
But I'm gonna tell you
Listen to
one
the
thing.
sports you just
I'm not
named.
I'm not sexist. I'm not misogynistic. I'm not a pig or whatever they're gonna call me on the internet. I'm just saying I watch those sports because it's highly competitive, and on the plus sides of those things, you get to see a little bit of ass flopping around. But that's not sexist. That's not me being misogynistic. That's just me telling it how it is. I'm speaking for most of the guys in America. That's what I'm doing this year. 2020, I'm going to be a man avenger. You can call me Captain Masculinity, okay?
Captain Fragile
No,
Masculinity.
no,
That's what
no,
they're
I'm
gonna
not
call
frat.
you.
No.
That's what they're going to flip it and call
My
you.
bond thing is, where is the WNBA getting this money from? Where is it coming from? Just answer me now. I'm not.
The NBA, they're a partner.
So, for us to be equal, I have to give you money.
No. The WNBA did not exist 25 years ago.
I
The
wonder
NBA, look, the NBA said, you know what? Because women's college basketball got extremely popular in the 90s. And the NBA said, you know what? We can make some money if we give them a league. And that's how the league got started. So it's not that, the WNBA was some failing franchise on its own and the NBA had to step in, the man's league had to step in and save them. No, they've been partners from the beginning. That's their league. They just wanted to make more money, so they gave the women a league.
So, partners means that I'm paying for everything. Because actually,
In this situation, yes, they make the NBA money.
that's the same situation of a lot of marriages as well. Men pay for everything.
All right, now you're going into an entirely
No, but I'm
different, and that's not even true nowadays.
I'm just trying to focus. I'm trying to stay along the lines that you're saying that the men's
not
league
true
pays for the
nowadays.
females league. You said, did you or did you not say the men's league pays for the female
yeah,
league?
factually, yes.
Okay, and are you not saying, or are you saying that men usually pay for things in relationships?
No,
You're not saying that.
no, not nowadays.
Okay, that's all I want
The
to know.
statistics will prove me correct.
Statistics.
It's more even nowadays.
So as an owner, now that I'm paying these, now that the revenue's split 50-50, even though we're only splitting $1 50-50, I used to get 75 cents off that dollar. I used to be able to put that 75 cents into making sure the stadium's more fun, it's getting upgrades. Now that I'm only getting 50 cents, why will I put in more money to upgrade these stadiums if I'm making the same profit I was making previously, but now I'm just getting less of that profit pie?
Because you are completely missing the point. The owners, I don't think any WNBA team has their own stadium. I don't think any of them, we have our own facility, our own stadium. What is there, 12 teams? Maybe 2 of them have their own stadium that they use. No other team uses it, right? Because the other ones play in the NBA stadium or the arena that the town uses for concerts, college team, whatever. Right, so they all kind of, and a couple times they move around. They'll be I remember Minnesota played in the Target Center for a couple years, and they played in University of Minnesota Stadium for a few years. So, and they were, a really good team. But the owners weren't putting that much money into it because the profit margin is very thin. It's a 20-year-old league. They're not making a shit ton of money yet.
They're not.
Right? So the profit, but that's the natural progression of every league. The NBA 20 years in wasn't making a shit ton of money. NFL 20 years in wasn't making a bunch of money. They were still slowly progressing. It's a business, right? It's going to take a while before it becomes the dominant franchise. So the owners weren't making a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they're owners. They want to line their pockets and say, I want as much money as possible. So they were like, our salaries are cheap, our training is cheap, our transportation is cheap. They were paying bottom dollar for their WNBA transportation.
I saw they got on the China bus one time to go up to China.
They were paying bottom dollar transportation, all the stuff. They were just being really cheap about it so that they could make the highest profit possible. Now, yes, the owners, it's going to be less lucrative for them. They're not going to be making that much money anymore. But with the NBA putting some money into the marketing, we'll see how the league does. Maybe you can get more television games. You can get a contract with one. Because they already have a television contract with ESPN, but maybe you could branch it out and maybe it can be on NBA TV or something. Or, who knows? Maybe another channel will pick it up. And once you get one of those television deals, the money will start falling in.
So as far as they're getting full salary for maternity leave.
Of course.
Now, you only get 34 WNBA games a year. So how many weeks are you sitting out for maternity leave?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, men I think in the MLB and the NBA get full paid paternity leave nowadays.
But they only leave for like a week, which is like 3 games.
That's because they're not the ones having the babies. If they were the ones who had the babies, I'm sure that their maternity the leagues make enough money. I'm sure that they would have the benefit.
And this is my point. This is my point.
It's a bad point.
No, my best player is leaving because she had to be. My best player is going for 20 games of a 34-game season, and I'm still paying you top dollar like you playing. So you only gonna play 14 games, and then you're gonna be out of shape when you come back. By the time you play yourself into shape, you're only gonna play 7 games and then try to head into the playoffs.
That's not even remotely true. Candace Parker had like 3 kids throughout her career and is a multiple-time champion and MVP.
Well, because it ain't hard to win in WNBA when you're 6'4". Everybody know that.
Okay. So now the point is switched from she's just gonna have a baby and she's not gonna be good anymore. Blah, 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 to it's easy to be good if you're the best, but you just said your best player having a baby is gonna ruin your team.
The profit margin is so slim that if my best player is out for 20 games, I'm going to lose so much money in fan tickets and sales because she's pregnant. I'm not saying you can't get pregnant, ladies. Even though if you talk to me and we dating, I am saying you can't get pregnant. But I'm not saying in general you shouldn't get pregnant and lose your job. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe we need to do the CBA. This is an 8-year CBA deal. So they're screwed for 8 years. I'm wondering if they'll be around for 8 years, but that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is that they should have done something different for maternity leave.
No,
that's it. But I respect
the alternative was to give them more actual money. So we want higher salaries, but if you can't give us the higher salary, give us the medium salary and better benefits, which is a fair trade-off. You get great benefits and your salary is appropriate now, because before they was getting ripped off.
They were getting ripped off.
They could have said, right, we don't need the maternity leave and we don't need all this stuff. We don't need the certain benefits, but you got to give us, our top players should be making close to $1 million instead of, 500,000, which is where the number is right now for like their top players. But to say that the players shouldn't, maternity leave is all the players are just going to get pregnant now and they're going to take advantage of this benefit. That's a stupid mindset because
work smart, not hard.
Yeah, sure, work smart, not hard.
But you can say the
same thing. You can say the same thing about an NBA player. I'll just get in the league and pull a Markelle Fultz. I forgot how to shoot. I can still get my money though.
They still get money. Chandler Parsons been doing that same thing for 4 or 5 years.
So what's your problem with that? The NBA should be less guaranteed money. You should only get guaranteed if you play.
The league has moved on without Chandler Parsons. The league is not moving on without the WNBA, not the league. WNBA is not moving on.
Those players take off all the time. Diana Taurasi, probably the best player in the league, took a whole year off.
You think she can come back right now and play?
She is still playing.
She's still playing. How old is she?
She took like 34. She took a year off. Because she wasn't getting paid enough.
That's a competitive league. You take a year off. Come back.
Because she wasn't getting paid. Well, she's the best WNBA player of all time. So upper echelon. But she took a year off because she wasn't getting paid enough, and she came back. She still was good. She's not the GOAT like she was before, but like
you think they'll still be going overseas? Or do you think that's over with now? They getting that bank.
It might be part of the CBA. I haven't seen all the details, but there could be something.
You're right.
Now that we're paying you more, you can't play over here all the time and risk an injury or whatever. But the maternity leave thing, that's stupid to have a gripe with. What if they do get pregnant? You should just not get paid, or you should get 60% of your. And there might be 60%. Some. Yeah, you should get 60% of your pay or something.
That's how it is for us real world folk. I think you get
not always.
I think you get less than that now.
Not always. No, sometimes it's after a certain point, right? You get 3 months full. After you have the baby or whatever, because you can work while you're doing it. If you couldn't work while you were pregnant,
I'm
sure your job will pay you.
Imagine going to Taco Bell and a chick serving your omelet or whatever is pregnant. That's not me saying that. That's the fans saying that. It
happens all the time.
We got a live stream that just floated across the screen. I'm not that type of guy, but they said that.
It happens all the time, right?
And I turn around and leave, says Bob. So
people can work at the bank and the office or whatever while they're pregnant. Right, and so if you can still work while you're pregnant, that's why maternity leave in the real world is a little bit different.
So just wrapping up on this conversation, you're saying that we, the male species, find women more entertaining in more ways than just porn. even though numbers
that wasn't
typically
even
don't
the question.
The question was,
I didn't say that men love the WNBA because that would be wrong. I'm a man. I can enjoy it, right? I don't sit there and watch every game. I'm not going to front. I don't watch every game of the WNBA, but I've seen some playoff games.
How many games? If you had to put a
I
percentage
usually
on,
watch a couple playoff
how
games.
many? What's the percentage? The whole season
if
in
their
playoffs.
season's 34 games. Okay. And the playoffs are an extra 20 games or something.
I think they do like best of 5 until it was.
Yeah, but that's 2 different matchups, and then there's another matchup, and then there's a final. So maybe 20 total playoff games or 25 playoff games or something. So out of 60 games, I may watch 8 to 10.
That's a good percentage.
That's more than you, right? Right? So I'm not going to sit here in front and say that, like, oh, I love the WNBA. It's a fantastic sport. I'm sure if I sat there and watched the whole season, I might enjoy it or find some players that I like. I like their play style.
I'm find some players I like. All right, never look them up on the gram.
I like their play style or something like that. But
look them up on the gram, like them a whole lot more.
But to say that the WNBA is a sport that most average men in America are going to flock to would be wrong. But they don't need them to. Women make up half the population, right? If women start watching the sport, it'll be the same exact turnout, right? Mostly men watch the NFL or mostly men watch the NBA.
So, John from Tennessee, your question was originally, why do women-related things flop except for porn? We just answered that question. Thanks for writing that in. That was a great debate. We're going to go to the next topic since we are in the NFL playoffs right now. Mm-hmm. Next topic, I'm not saying this. I've seen it on ESPN all day long. I'm not going to say I don't agree. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens should not have lost that game to the Tennessee Titans. And it just goes to show that Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are James Harden and the Rockets. It's the same damn thing because they dribble, shoot, they dribble, they go to the hoop, they dribble, 3-point. It's either 3-point or it's a layup with the Ravens. There is no in between. And I'm not saying Lamar Jackson's not a great football player. That man can play some football. I'm saying Lamar Jackson is not a great quarterback, but he is a football player. He's the type of guy where if you have an 8th grade or varsity football team, you like, yo, we going to the States. This dude is balling out. And then guess what happens? He go to that next level, he playing wide receiver. Period. Point blank, period. But I'm not here to diss that man. I'm just saying that style of football is not going to work in the playoffs because they'll give it to you, and then they'll take it from you right before you get to where you're going. Because that dude had 130 yards rushing off 20 carries. That's a great game. He threw 59 passes. He completed 31 for 300-something yards. That's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad, but he threw like 30 incompletions. The thing that got him were the 2 picks, the fumble. That's 3 turnovers on Lamar Jackson by itself. He threw 1 touchdown. He had 2 picks, 1 fumble. That's 3 turnovers. The offense went 0 of 3 on 4th downs. That's 3 more turnovers. You have 6 turnovers. You're not winning no damn ball games. Period.
Okay.
That style of play is not going to work in the playoffs.
6 turnovers, you lose a game, right? Or okay, Captain Obvious. But to say that they're the Rockets, yeah, Captain Masculinity. To say that they're the Rockets of the NFL, I think is
what's the difference?
Very wrong. The Rockets are about
high scoring, both of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, football is a little more complicated, right? The NBA, the Rockets are literally just for production purposes. They just put points out. James Harden, I think Stephen A. Smith said it maybe, is the thirstiest bucket on earth. He don't give a shit how he gets the point. He is trying to get a bucket every play, whether it's in the best interest of the offense, the flow of the game, the defense, whatever. He don't care. Give me a bucket. That's it. The Ravens weren't the best team in the NFL this year. They were not. Even though they looked like it.
Whoa.
Even though they looked like it and they had the best record, they were not the best team in the NFL. Because their defense was good, but it wasn't great. And their offense was very efficient, but it wasn't great, right? When you don't turn the ball over. So Lamar was having very clean games, right? So they just weren't turning the ball over. That means all of your possessions that you have in a game are positive, pretty much, right? You didn't throw a pick, you didn't fumble it, right? That means either you got points or maybe you punted and flipped field position. So you're helping your defense or you're putting points on the board, right? So they pretty much were playing ahead all the time since they were playing so cleanly. In this playoff game against the Titans, who are extremely hot, Ryan Tannehill is having a resurgence. And Derrick Henry is playing like a grown man, right? People forget Mike Vrabel is from the school of Belichick. He is smart. He's shown it time and time again. Even though the Titans are inconsistent sometimes, Vrabel's a smart coach, right? He got his guys playing.
He's having a... I can't.
He had two great... This is his second great year in a row.
You know, his smartest move, I'm not going to lie to you, because his smartest move, and a lot of coaches will not do this. You are not going to put your number one pick on the bench. You will die with that number one pick. Now, granted, he didn't draft the guy, so he had more, leeway as far as coming in there and like, yo, I don't even need Marcus Mariota. This dude's playing like a bum. But he is a pretty good coach. He's showing his.
Yeah, that's a great point. He put their number 2 overall pick, on the bench because he wasn't performing. He saw the potential of their offense, right? We have a great running back. We have a great running game. Their O-line is very, very good, very underrated. And we have a guy on the bench in Ryan Tannehill who can make play-action throws, right? If I'm running the ball 35 times with Derrick Henry and all I do for Tannehill is say, give me 20 play-action passes a game, we're going to look pretty damn clean.
Tannehill said, give you 20? Fuck that. I'm going to give you 9 completions in the playoffs.
See? Listen, and they look
88 yards, motherfucker.
And they look pretty damn clean, right? So Vrabel saw that. He knows what he's doing. For the Ravens, like I said, they were playing really clean football. Tennessee Titans, they went down the field and scored. Then they flipped the game over with a turnover and scored again, right? So anytime you can get one of those early turnovers, anytime you come in, because they were heavy underdogs, right? They really should not have won the game.
It was like negative 360 or something.
Yeah,
something
they shouldn't have won the game. They were heavy underdogs. The Ravens had the week off. They were 14-2 this year. They probably were really kind of feeling themselves like, we're going to run through them. Might be a tough
game. Big trust.
They probably said it's going to be a tough game, but we're going to get through it, and we'll play Kansas City next week. They probably were already looking forward, and Tennessee said, wait a minute. We got Derrick Henry the horse. We got a solid defense, a smart coach. We can take over. And once you get a lead, once you let a team like Tennessee get a lead, and they got Derrick Henry running the ball, at that point you kind of stuck. Like they're just gonna run the clock out.
And I saw that game. And I was like, a lot of times, I love Lamar Jackson. I love this dude. He is a beast in Madden. But a lot of times where he was in the pocket, and he's like doing that little scramble thing he do, where he step up in the pocket, he step back, now he slide to the left, slide to the right. A lot of times he's doing that. I'm like, dog, where are you trying to go? Because you got the open lane if you wanted to run. It looks like probably, I can't see the whole field because I'm watching on fucking TV, but somebody's probably open. You probably could have threw the ball, but you're dancing around in the pocket. And in the playoffs, it really showed. It was like, I know John had been on the side, like, come on, what are you doing? Pass, do something with the ball.
I think it's the opposite. And I do agree he should have ran more. Normally I say...
Ran more, he had 130.
I know, but he's still, like you said, he had more lanes where he could have taken off, made more plays, maybe made it a closer game, and in a close game anything can happen. But I think it's the opposite. I don't think John Harbaugh was on the sideline saying, what are you doing? I think that the Ravens came into that game with a certain game plan. Because, NFL coaches sometimes they outthink themselves.
Change the game plan.
No, but I think sometimes they outthink themselves, where they figure... We've been playing a certain way all year long, right? Everybody knows we run the ball. Like, we run the ball.
That's what I meant.
Our quarterback runs it. The running back runs it. A bunch of times we have three running backs we use. We make a lot of runs on the field. But we're going to come out. Tennessee's secondary isn't anything special, right? Their pass rush isn't anything special. We can come out and exploit them in the pass game. We can hit them with some play action. We can kind of trick them a little bit. They're not going to be expecting us to pass the ball. They'll be expecting us to run it heavily. And Tennessee, on the other side, was like, listen, we know that they run the ball. We're going to force them to pass, and our secondary is going to make plays, and our D-line is going to make plays. So pretty much the Ravens' game plan fell right into the trap that Tennessee was playing, where they probably focused all week on their pass defense. Their run defense know what they have to do. We got to contain Lamar. We got to contain the run game. But the pass defense, most weeks this year, the Ravens, whoever their opponent was, pass defense was chilling. We don't really have to do anything. They won't pass that much. When the ball comes to us, the ball comes to us. Tennessee focused on their pass defense.
So you think they were just you don't think the Ravens were outcoached?
I don't think that they were outcoached. I think that everyone's saying that they didn't change up their game plan. I think they changed their game plan too much. If you're watching, they threw the ball too much.
They did, because there's no way Mark Ingram should. I think he had like 12 carries, like 54 yards.
Now Mark was banged up. That's a factor too. But they could have done something where they played to their strengths more. It's the playoffs, man. Play to your strengths. Look at Kansas City. Even they fell behind by 24 points, and they kept playing their style of football. They didn't switch it up and say, "Oh my God, we got to start throwing a deep ball every play." No, they just said, "All right, we still got 3 quarters left. Let's keep playing our style of football. We got Pat Mahomes, a great QB. It's going to work out."
So you're not faulting the coaches. Who you gotta blame?
I am faulting the coaches.
You gotta blame. Who are you blaming for the Ravens?
I'm faulting the coaches.
You just said they weren't outcoached.
He wasn't outcoached. It
so
wasn't.
How freak.
Because when you say outcoached, that indicates to me that the other guy.
That mean the players did or did the players not perform the game plan the Ravens put?
I think it's a mixture of both. Because look, when you say outcoached, that to me is always like in last year's Super Bowl when Sean McVay went head to head with Bill Belichick. He got outcoached
right
in that game. Right? When you get out coached, that means I'm looking at you and I'm watching your game plan. I'm watching your adjustments. I'm watching the way that you play football. And I'm saying this coach is not utilizing his players correctly. He's not utilizing them right. His play calling's all thrown off. You know, all types of things are going on. And the other coach is calling a great game. I don't think Tennessee called an exceptional game. I think their game plan was one way. Baltimore's game plan was the other way.
Off the top, do you know Baltimore's run defense? You know, the statistics behind that? Are they good? They're like middle of the road as far as run defense, right?
I'm pretty sure. I think they may have been 18th or something like that. Their pass defense was good because they forced a lot of turnovers. But I don't think Harbaugh got out coached. I think his game plan was not. I think his game plan tried to do too much.
So like I said,
Tennessee's game plan, it fell right into their trap.
Who are you putting the blame on? You putting it on the players?
The players and the coach. Because like you said, Lamar could have done more by taking some open lanes. They don't have outstanding receivers. He didn't have to run around and try to find a guy. They don't have a go-to, dominant receiver. They got Hollywood Brown, who's really a speed guy. They got Willie Snead, who's, he's okay. And Mark Andrews, who's a good target, but he's not, an outstanding tight end. Right? So Lamar could have done more to help the team. And
the Mark Andrews was all-pro this year, right?
Was he all-pro? He was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, you're
right. I think maybe
different.
Kelsey.
You're right. That's
maybe Kelsey was all.
The Pro Bowl really don't mean shit to begin with.
Yeah, Pro Bowl is voting. Some players deserve it, some players don't.
The Pro Bowl selection process is nasty.
Yeah,
it's nasty. I don't know how.
It's almost like the NBA one where Alex Caruso is getting.
The NBA stepped in and was like, "Yo, we not letting Taco Fall's not going."
Taco and Alex Caruso.
We ain't going to the Pro Bowl. The All-Star Weekend, that shit ain't happening.
But yeah, I think there was partial blame on both. They just happened. They got outplayed.
So you're going with partial blame. I'm going to go with the simple fact that
they got outplayed.
Lamar Jackson, he ain't a playoff player. That's a hot take. Super hot. That's flaming. That's right off the grill. I caught that with my bare hands. He's not a playoff player.
Lamar had a great game.
He's 0-2. Every single playoff game he's been in, which has been 2, so I get to say every single playoff game. Every single playoff game that man has been in, he has been trash. Now this year, he was okay. But coach, he is trash.
I think the Ravens need a go-to target at wide receiver.
So did I just hear the mole confirm AB to Baltimore?
Hell to the fucking no.
What?
Antonio Brown will never play another snap in the NFL.
Whoa. I'm not with you on that one.
That ain't no hot take. He will never play in the NFL.
He in training camp. I love you, Poppy. Poppy, I love you. Your mom just a bitch. He in training camp next year. Trust me on that.
For who?
For
who?
It'd be dumb not to pick him up.
For who?
Give
me one team.
We'll take him out in New York. He'd be flourishing.
No, you won't. You think the Patriots' former special teams coach and wide receivers coach
So
is going to pick up Antonio Brown?
We're gonna discuss that, but next week we're gonna move on to the Chiefs game first. I want to stay in the playoffs, but we will discuss Joe Judge. Don't worry, your sweethearts about that. I know we got a bunch of Giants fans listening to this, so. But next up, let's talk about this horrific. And I feel like I'm hating. I don't want to be the hating guy. But let's talk about this horrific downfall of the Houston Texans. That was a great game.
Mm-hmm. Not by the Texans, but it was a great game to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, great game to watch.
It was a great game to watch. It was action-packed. It was like one of those movies. It was like Scott's favorite movie, London Has Fallen. You get a bunch of action in there, right? You get a bunch of action. But the movie don't even have a damn plot. Next thing you know, you wake up, you sat in the movie for an hour, 40 minutes, and realized it was the same scene over and over again. The Texans came out hot. A lot of action. And then guess what happened? What they scored? They scored 24 points in the first, 14. No, not 14. First 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was first quarter.
First 20 minutes, you scored 20 points, 24 points, and then you give me 10 for the rest of the game.
No, 7.
You can
listen.
7?
Listen to this crazy stat. This is how good the Chiefs are. And now the Texans
the Texans are trash. But keep going.
The Texans folded because Bill O'Brien's a bad coach. He underutilizes. He has superstars on his team, like elite players.
You said superstars.
Yeah,
plural.
Deshaun and Hopkins. Those are 2 superstars.
I give you that.
Yeah, like guys who should be balling out every year, MVP candidates, and he underutilizes them. So the Texans definitely choked, but Kansas City is so fucking good that they outscored the Texans for 3 quarters, 51-7.
It'd be like
Think about it. Now listen, some of it's the Texans choking, and some of it is the other team being real good. 51-7.
And then when I was watching the game, because I was texting everybody in the group chat, when it was like 21-0. I said, yo, it's over, son. I said, yo, this is
dead. It's over.
I said, yo, it's a wrap. It's a hoagie. And then it hit me because after the Chiefs scored like twice in a row, it hit me. I said, yo, now that I think about it, they scored off
Patrick Mahomes.
No. I said, now I think about it. They scored off a defensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown. So the offense only scored 10 points. I'm like, now it's just starting to add up. 1 plus 1 started to equal 2.
Defensive touchdown, but they scored off of a short field. Right, so they had a punt block. There was a return. Then they had a special. And then they had a kick return fumble. I think. Yep. Right. Yeah, and they picked that up special on like teams. The 10-yard line. Yeah, and then they dropped it off as an easy stuff. So the offense scored 17 points, but one of them was first and goal when they got the ball. Right, so the Texans weren't like out there moving the ball and looking like outstanding.
Texans shouldn't have won the first round game. Let's be real.
They shouldn't have. No, they shouldn't have.
Let's
Absolutely
be real.
Not. Josh Allen's just young. He was just too young. It was his first playoff game. You could tell he was making some young mistakes, like veteran QBs would not do. But they shouldn't have won that game. But the Chiefs, man, to outscore a team 51-7, hats off. I can't hate
Andy Reid, man. Andy Reid is an offensive mastermind.
It is, but Patrick Mahomes is 2011 Aaron Rodgers, but at all times, right? It's not just one.
Yeah, he don't have no fall off.
Yeah, it's no one stretch of the year where it's like, holy shit, this dude is the best I've ever seen. No, Patrick Mahomes is like that, like every single game.
I think Deshaun Watson's girlfriend is to blame a lot. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it real quick.
I'm not a misogynist or a sexist.
No, I'm not.
I hate on the WNBA.
I don't hate on the WNBA. I don't hate on the WNBA.
I'm gonna say it's a player's girlfriend.
No, the fans wrote that question. That's not me. Yo, don't take it like I'm misogynistic and I'm sexist. I'm some pig. I'm not that guy.
Poisoning them.
Listen. All I'm saying is, she dated Deontay Murray. What happened? My man was all NBA, first team, tore his ACL. Boom.
So she tore his ACL?
I'm not saying she tore his ACL, but she may have made his name weak. Ways. She may be giving that made his knees weak. And then let me go to her next victim, not boyfriend, her next victim, James Gambling Harden. Guess what happened to James Harden when she dated him? He folded in the playoffs. Now that's
an every year occurrence for
that's
James.
debate. Now that's debatable. Yeah. Because he do fold every year in the playoffs, but I'm just giving out her facts.
James folds because of the casino.
I'm giving out her stat line. James Harden, Deontay Murray, and now Deshaun Watson.
I think unless Deshaun Watson's girlfriend is Bill O'Brien, then she ain't to blame for the loss.
Y'all keep dissing my man Bill. Nah,
Bill is not a good coach.
You know who's not a good coach? Adam Gase. Adam Gase had us thinking that Ryan Tannehill was a bum. Then guess what he said? Guess what he said about Le'Veon Bell? He said, "Oh, we'll see if Le'Veon's here next year. I don't really know." But so he had us thinking that because I said RT12. I made a bet with Scott. I said, "Yo, Eli Manning is head and shoulders above Ryan Tannehill." I said, "It's as clear as day." And then that's because Ryan Tannehill was playing for Gates. And now he's doing the same thing with Le'Veon. I said Le'Veon's a bum.
There's layers to this.
I said Le'Veon's a bum.
What was the Jets' record this year?
I said Sam Darnold's a bum. They were 5-9.
7-9.
7-9. Bum work.
7-9 ain't bad. That's 2 games out of the playoffs in the AFC. They could have been the Titans if they had won 2 more games. They could have been the Titans. But I don't think Adam Gase is a bad coach. I think Ryan Tannehill, Miami wasn't going to work with Ryan Tannehill. They had a horrible offensive line. Absolutely terrible offensive line.
So who do you give the credit to for Ryan Tannehill working now? Who you give?
Derrick Henry and their offensive line.
So you saying that's
Mike Vrabel's a better coach than Adam Gase. I'll give you that.
That's crazy.
So he's under a better coach now much better system for him. Ryan Tannehill doesn't have to do that much.
Yeah, if you can throw 9 completions and win a playoff game, that's pretty sweet.
He doesn't have to do that much. He went up to Gillette and won a game, putting up 14 points, not really doing anything. He didn't ball out.
Do you think if you were Ryan Tannehill, would you have celebrated after that playoff win? No, you only had 88 yards.
Hell yeah! Fuck yeah!
I'd have been like, yeah, actually, I probably have been drunk during the game.
I'm the QB.
Yeah, I probably been drunk during the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I only got to throw 9 passes. I can do this shit sleep.
Once they got the lead, if I was Ryan Tannehill, I'm breaking out the Henny on the sideline. I'm just handing off to Derrick Henry the rest of the game.
Little Henny game, huh?
Fuck, I'm handing it off now. But I don't think Gates is a horrible coach. He's not elite or anything.
He's not a horrible coach. He just sucks everywhere he goes. But he just hasn't.
He doesn't suck everywhere he goes. In Miami, he went to the playoffs his first year.
Yup, he did. Okay.
The next year, I think they went 7-9. The year after that, I think they went 7-9. Those are 3 decent years because Miami was on a downfall. His last year, they had no roster. Their roster was depleted. Nobody. Ryan Tannehill didn't even play last year, did he? Didn't he have a torn ACL or something? He was recovering from a torn ACL.
So he's not a bad coach. I'm gonna just say what you said.
No, I think players don't like him
because he's a no nonsense. If you tell Le'Veon Bell, yo, I don't know if you're gonna be back this year, everybody in the locker room like, what?
And you're not like a Bill Belichick. Like I've won rings and stuff. I'm a genius. If you're that type of guy, players will be like, yeah, you fucking up, bro. Like Le'Veon gotta go. But if you're a guy who hasn't even won anything and you try that no nonsense, I'm getting rid of our best player type of mentality. People are like, what are you doing? Like you need him to succeed. Like you haven't won anything. Man.
So is Jason Garrett a good coach? Mm-mm. Oh, he's not a good coach.
Jason Garrett has had the talent and has not succeeded.
When? Name me a team.
They have the best offensive line in the league.
When? This year?
For like 4 years straight, they did.
That's great. Who's running behind that? Who's catching the balls?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay.
A beast.
Debatable.
No, not debatable.
Nah, that's not debatable.
Yeah,
I go
Ezekiel Elliott. So you got Zeke. You got the top running back. You have the top O-line.
Okay.
You have a pretty solid, and I'm not even a fan of the Cowboys defense, but objectively, you look at it, they have talent. Their linebackers are pretty solid. You got Sean Lee, Vander Esch, Jalen Smith. Those are good linebackers.
They're decent, yeah.
You got a good D-line. Right, you got a good D-line. You got DeMarcus Lawrence, who's a really good pass rusher.
He was all right.
Your secondary is solid.
Was all right. They said you know what they said? They said DeMarcus Lawrence. They said he's been so bad this year. You got to take the DE out of his name because he's not a defensive player. They said that man's name is Marcus Lawrence because he ain't did shit this year. So no, he ain't DE Marcus. He's not good Marcus. He is Marcus Lawrence. Keep going.
That's because their defensive coordinator was very bad. They weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, but. Also, their secondary was solid. You got Byron Jones, you got a Wuze out there. They have a solid defense, a great run game. You got Amari Cooper, who's not no scrub. Is he elite? Is Amari elite? No.
I can't rock with you on that one.
Is Amari elite? No, but he ain't no scrub.
They sat Amari because they said, yo, this man does not. If they gotta try to flip the switch on you every game, yo, it's not worth it. They had Tavon Austin in there, my guy. Shout out to Tavon.
Jesus
they had Tavon Austin
Christ.
there because they said Amari is not working hard. He's not doing shit.
It does not matter. When you're a coach, listen, what week of the season did they say Amari's not working hard?
The last 2 weeks, that's why he's on the bench.
Yeah, everybody on the team. I watched those Dallas games. Everybody on the team quit. In the Bears game on Thursday Night Football, the whole team quit. They did not even want to play. You could tell they were fed up with Jason Garrett, right? When you're a guy who's underachieved, and I think Des Bryant put out the list, and you've had the type of players that he's had for 10 years, and you got 2 playoff wins, and that's it. A couple of 8-8 seasons.
Now he should have had some more playoff wins.
He should have had some more playoff. They should have went to a Super Bowl or an NFC Championship. Maybe not won a Super Bowl, but they could have gone to one.
Okay.
They could have gone to an NFC Championship game and lost. A couple times they could have been an elite team, but no, they've been failures pretty much his entire time, underachieving. That's bad coaching, right? If you got all the talent, and people can say what they want to say about Dak or Amari, they're still solid players. And when you got Ezekiel Elliott running behind them, they don't even have to do that much. Mike Vrabel would have won a Super Bowl with those boys.
Let's see Harbaugh,
Tomlin, any of those type of guys, like a really good coach, they would have won a Super Bowl with Dallas.
I just can't sit here and say Jason Garrett's not. I mean,
he's a bad coach. You can't underachieve like that. And you know what? It may not even be that he's a really bad coach. maybe the relationship in Dallas was too much, right? Because it's like a family. Him and Jerry, that's kind of like his second son. Yeah, maybe you got too much leeway.
I don't know a person on earth, regular job or I'm a quotation celebrity job. You get 3 exit interviews. Yeah, we really on the fence about firing you. Let me come back tomorrow and tell you why I shouldn't get fired.
Just let your contract expire.
Yeah, like, I don't know as many people like that.
Yeah, especially when you haven't been performing. But also, that may have made him a little bit kind of, because sometimes you got to get a fire lit under your ass. Sometimes it's like, yo, your way of doing things is not working. We need you to switch it up fast, and we'll go from there. I think maybe Jerry had too much faith in him. No. We'll stick with Jason. It's been 10 years. We still like him. And when you have that type of confidence instilled in you from the owner of the team, you're probably like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to my ways. Eventually it'll work out. And instead of changing up and trying to better yourself, you just stay the same. So maybe the relationship was too much. And maybe Garrett's not terrible.
I'm sure he'll get picked up soon.
I'm sure the New York Giants as an offensive coordinator.
We already fucked up.
You don't want him as an offensive coordinator?
We already messed up with our picks. I heard the conversation with the New York Giants was something like this. It was like, Josh, this is the New York Giants voice I'm doing. Hi, Josh. I heard Joe. No, McDaniels. No, Josh.
Oh, Josh.
Hi, Josh. I heard you're gonna be single this year. You're breaking up with your girlfriend and Patriots. Josh was like, nah, I don't know if I'm leaving or not. But yo, my man's, cause I'm in a relationship with my man's. He kind of cute. New Giants like, okay, well, if you vouch for him, that's fine. What's his name? Yo, that's my man, Joe Judge. Yo, Joe, come here real quick. Joe come over like, hi, how's it going? Oh, yeah, he's kind of cute. I guess we can test drive him. But Josh, do you vouch for him? And Josh like, that's my man. You know I vouch for him. Yo, he do it all. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I guess we'll give him a shot. That's how the whole meeting went with the fucking Joe Judge shit, man.
I'm not sold on Joe neither. Because
I don't know. I had to Google this. I said, who is this man? I had to. If you gotta Google your head coach, it's not looking so good.
Not even that, but after your division rival, who's been underachieving, they go out and hire a coach who had a Super Bowl championship, went to the playoffs, I think, 8 times in 13 years.
We're talking about the Redskins.
No. I'm talking about Mike McCarthy. So I'm getting to Redskins.
Okay.
So the Cowboys, who've been underachieving and have a better roster than you, go out and get a proven head coach, a guy who could come in and he might make some noise with them. You never know. The Redskins, who are rebuilding, go out and get another proven coach who's had a defensive player of the year, an MVP, and
shout out Luke Kuechly, man.
Yeah. Shout out Luke. Rest in peace.
He's done
from your playing career.
That shocked the shit out of me. He's 28.
28 only.
But he got about 28 concussions, so that makes sense.
Yeah, he has too many concussions. So the doctors probably said, yo, one more and you might die.
They had the wheelchair his ass in there to retire, I think. He motherfucker forgot how to walk.
But then you got the Redskins. They go out and get Ron Rivera, another proven coach, a guy who can really change their whole atmosphere. He instills players like him. He brings a no-nonsense kind of mentality, like let's win, let's actually play good football type of mentality. And you have the New York Giants, the biggest market in that entire division, go out and get a no-name coach after the other 2 teams who had head coaching vacancies.
I don't know this man.
Got proven guys.
I don't know this man.
And now listen, him up. I listened to Joe's press conference. Sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Hell
and he
no.
might. Joe's press conference sounded like he might make a little bit of improvements.
This man Joe said, well, we got players in positions that, not playing to their strengths. We got to put them in position so they can play to their strengths.
That's smart NFL coaching.
Joe, we don't have no players to put in no positions. What are you talking about?
I do agree with that, but I think what he was trying to say is they had coaches.
We don't have no talent.
I know, but I think what he was trying to say is you had a guy like McAdoo and a guy like Shermer who are offensive guys. And they came in and they tried to do their own thing like, hey, this is my scheme. I'm smarter than everybody else. I'm just going to have everybody doing what I want them to do. And sometimes you got to look at your personnel, your roster.
Let me break it down. The roster.
The roster's terrible.
We got Daniel Jones. I don't know where he got the fucking Danny Dimes from. We got Daniel Jones. This man's a statue in the pocket. He's led the league in fumbles. Daniel Jones.
He'll get better at that. He can run. He's mobile.
He don't have no awareness. We got, and I blame him because, he was never a starter anywhere he fucking went. He started at Duke for like 12 games, period. Anyway, we got Evan Ingrams. This dude is the Flash at tight end. But he can't stay healthy, and he can't catch a damn ball. He hasn't had, for you to be that fast, you had a season with over 700 yards? Are you kidding me? You're supposed to be Travis Kelce.
Ingram, you can... I don't know.
Okay.
You got to find a way to fix him.
You got Sterling Shepard, who was supposed to be the next Victor Cruz. His route running skills are supposed to be crazy. That man is a concussion a week type of guy. If I had to put...
He's a slot guy.
He's a what?
A slot guy. He's not supposed to be on the outside.
He ain't supposed to be on the field. All them concussions he had. He ain't supposed to be out there, period.
In the slot, Shep might be all right.
We got... Who else we got? I can barely name the damn roster right. We got Barkley.
Your O-line improved.
We ain't worried about Barkley. We know what Barkley's going to do. We know what Barkley's going to get it
Your
all.
O-line improved.
We got
a little better.
We got a cornerback who's been shot this offseason. Fresh off the draft, he got shot. I'm like, damn, buddy. At least wait. At least Plexico was in the playoffs when he got shot. Damn, but anyway, we got him. We don't have nobody. And he's talking about putting players in positions. Who are you going to... That's like if I'm on a team right now, you're like, yo, we got to put A in a position. I'm going to look at you like, brother, ain't no way you can put me on this field where I can make an impact.
I don't think he meant it that way. I think he meant it like you see a coach like Mike Tomlin or John Harbaugh or Kyle Shanahan. Sometimes those guys don't have like a great roster. The Steelers roster this year, even though their defense was very good, their defense you can say was stacked, but at the same time, a lot of that is just implementing the right scheme, calling the right plays, setting the right game plan, right? Because a lot of those guys, some of them aren't all-stars. Minka Fitzpatrick is an all-star. TJ Watt's an all-star. But a lot of that is just like, hey, listen, we got a guy who can do this and that. Why don't we use him a certain way? It's like back when Bruce Arians was coaching the Cardinals and they started moving their safeties down the linebacker, right? We don't have a second middle linebacker, but we play a 3-4 system. How about we just
shout out Deion Buchanan.
Yeah, how about we just move our safety down? He can cover and he can hit. And it worked out. They went 13-3 that year. The defense was playing really great. So I don't think Joe Judge meant like we got guys playing out of position and the coaches did. I see a great roster and these other coaches didn't see it. I think he meant like we can be respectable. Maybe we can go 7-9 next year.
Ooh,
maybe we can be competitive and stuff while we're rebuilding, and we can develop some guys because these other coaches just weren't like Pat Shurmur and Ben McAdoo. I don't know what games you watch. They couldn't get it done. I don't care even if you don't have any talent. They just were out there bullshitting. The team did not look good. They had no sort of scheme.
We know Ben wasn't gonna work. You have to give your superstar treatment. Period. They say it doesn't happen in the Patriots system. No, Tom Brady's getting superstar treatment. Period. Mm-hmm. But you can't be telling dudes like Odell what he can and cannot be doing. That's not going to work.
Not even that, but you can't be losing games and your best player by far is saying, give me the ball. Like, I can do it. Give me some more action. Give me the ball. I can get open. I can help carry us. And you're like, I don't know.
That stuff don't fly in the NFL, man. These dudes are way too freaking good. Get these guys the ball. Get out the way. What happened with Christian McCaffrey? They were, 4-12 this year?
Nah, I think they went 6-10. But they had that streak in the middle for a little while where they could hide Kyle Allen being a bum. And Ron Rivera was like, fuck it, we just going to ride Christian McCaffrey. And it worked for a little while. Then the league caught up and Kyle Allen's not good. But, you know, it worked.
And then Will Greer not good. We knew Will wasn't going to be shit. So we ain't surprised over that.
But look at the 2007 Patriots. They just said, fuck it, we got Randy Moss. And they went 16-0. Right? If you have a dominant player like Odell, and he's saying, he's willing, he's like, I want to win. Give me the ball. Let's try it. And your scheme, you just say, nah. I have Eli Manning, whose arm was pretty much dead.
Oh, don't disrespect the GOAT like that. Don't you ever.
Eli could not. His arm was dying. Right? And you have him, and you're like, nah, we can still play like balance. We can feed it. And Eli can move the ball up the field slowly. No, man. Give it to Odell. Throw some deep balls. Just get him open. Find ways to get Odell open, and you'll be all right. They could have went 8-8 last year. They just gave Odell the ball more.
I'm happy
they didn't have to trade him.
I'm happy they got Speaking of Odell, I'm happy they got Freddie Kitchens the fuck out of here. Yeah, Freddie was a well. He's gonna be somewhere that's probably like an OC this year, but
guess who the Browns hired? The Vikings offensive coordinator. What's the point?
What did he do in the playoffs? He ain't do a damn thing.
What did he do in the regular season?
Vikings got blown out. Now he gave the ball. He did what he was supposed to. Get the ball to Dalvin Cook. Get the ball to Cook. Let's play action pass a hell of a lot.
The Vikings, I never like hiring a coordinator who wasn't exceptional. It doesn't make sense. Why would I hire a coordinator who's middle of the road? Right? What was the Vikings offense this year? 10th, 12th?
Yeah, it was middle of the road.
Yeah, 10th, 12th. That's not, great. Look
I
at
like
Eric
the Vikings,
Bieniemy
too.
in the fucking on the Chiefs. Why he could have been hired somewhere. Somebody could have picked him up.
I like the Vikings too.
I don't like the Vikings at all. I think they're constant pretenders. But look at a dude like Eric Bieniemy out in Kansas City, the offensive coordinator. Great offense. I know a lot of it is Mahomes, a lot of it's their weapons, a lot of it's Andy Reid. But
Shit, that would
still,
look good out there. OCM.
yeah, but still, their other OC, Doug Peterson, won a Super Bowl, right? So, like, even though you're under Andy Reid and he's really the offensive,
Even that Super Bowl's in contest, honestly.
it's not at all.
I
That
don't
was a
know about
dominant
that.
team. But even though you're underneath Andy Reid and he's mostly doing it and it's all these weapons and you got a great quarterback and stuff, still I'd take that guy. I'd take the defensive coordinator out in San Francisco, right?
Oh,
Even
the
though
ball dude who always
yeah,
like,
Robert
jacked up.
Saleh.
Yeah.
Even though you got you have the right pieces and the right players, you still implemented a scheme and you call some plays and you get those guys motivated. I'll take that dude over the Vikings offensive coordinator who.
I think
They
that's a bad hire. When you got somebody like the Browns offense, you want some dude whose main focus like I don't know what else is going on. But we put up 40 points this week. Like that's what I want.
Yeah,
to
you
coach the Browns.
either want a high end offensive coordinator, or you want a guy who can motivate his players, right? Because you got Baker Mayfield. I know he looked like a bum this year, but really it was having a head coach who was not good and too much of we're trying to force the ball to Odell. Like a lot of that was that, and some of it was. He had the Carson Wentz syndrome. Damn it! I'm waiting for the big play. I'm waiting for the big play. Sometimes you just gotta get the ball out, man. Get it to dump it off.
He was getting it out all right, but then when he was
wasn't.
getting out, Odell, I'm fucking open, man. Hold the ball a little bit. I'm
some
open.
of it's forcing it to Odell. Some of it's just sometimes you gotta make the smart play instead of I want the big play. And he's young. You go through those things. You gotta learn. You gotta adapt. But if you can get a guy who can just come in and motivate, like, hey, listen, I'm giving Baker a lot of power. I'm giving these wide receivers some power. Our defense is they got a solid defense. Everybody sleep on their defense. I'm going to motivate this defense to play hard. If you can get a guy like that, like a John Gruden type of dude, the sky's the limit for the Browns.
Sky is the limit.
They went out and they got a Miles
So
Leonard,
let's just
offensive coordinator.
So what's predictions on the Browns next year? What's the record? They're not 8-8. No playoffs. Because
it's possible. I think maybe they could be one game out. Maybe I'm giving it a flex to 9-7.
Let's be realistic. I know you saying this because there are probably some Browns fans watching. You want to say that's not safe hope for these guys.
No.
They're not going to beat the Steelers next
all,
year.
fuck
They're
the
not going to
Browns
beat.
fans.
They're not going to beat the Ravens next year. They damn sure ain't beating the Ravens because the Ravens going to get an A1 wide receiver like AB.
It depends on the Steelers quarterback because Roethlisberger's not going to get it. He's not going to get it done. Sorry.
Big Ben ain't coming back with a vengeance next year.
No.
Big Ben said he's coming back. He raping the league next year. Period.
No.
He said conscious or unconscious, that league is getting raped. He don't give a
Ben Roethlisberger is not. He's done. Sorry. His 2 games this year, he was a bum.
Okay.
He ain't good. Right. Listen. He's better than Duck Hodges, and Mike Tomlin's a great coach.
Okay.
But I think next year is finally the year that Mike Tomlin gets released, where it's like, oh shit, now he can go somewhere where you're not stuck to this old ass quarterback. Yeah, you can kind of make some noise somewhere. Who knows where that'll be? But I think Mike Tomlin will finally get kind of released and get to go on his own and get some more power on a different team. But I think the Browns might be an 8-8 to a 9-7 flex, where maybe the Ravens take a step back. They might be 11-5 instead of 14-2 or something.
Huge step.
Yeah, maybe 3 games different because they'll be playing a first place schedule next year. So, maybe 3 games different. Maybe a team like the Titans or the Texans falls back a little bit and loses a wild card spot. Maybe a team like, maybe the Patriots. Tom might be going. Who knows? Maybe the AFC East
Tom
is a
ain't
little
going
bit.
nowhere.
I think he is leaving.
I thought when Josh McDaniels was, I was like, yo, if Josh leaves, and Tom's going to go with Josh, but Tom ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't going nowhere.
I think Tom might leave. I think he might at least test the free agency. Maybe
he
won't.
No, but he said, yo, y'all throwing me that bag this year. Period. He's not taking no breaks.
So maybe he'll ultimately end up going back to New England, but I think he'll at least test the waters, and you never know. Somebody might make a nice ass offer. There might be a team. I'm trying to think of a team with a solid roster. Maybe the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Right. If they just say, Mitch, you're not getting it done at all.
Even so, I mean, I would sign would sign Tom for a year if I was like, yo, Mitch, you on the bench for a year? We got Tom.
That's what I'm saying.
Rocking.
Maybe either the Bears have a lot of faith in Mitch, or they just say, Mitch, listen, you got to sit for a year and kind of learn a little bit again, relearn a little bit. We got the GOAT coming in. You can learn from him, and maybe maybe everything will work out. But maybe an AFC team, 2 AFC teams will take a step back, and the Browns might take. All they got to do is win 2 more games, and they could be a wild card next year. So
that's true.
It could be possible, but I don't like hiring a mild-mannered Vikings offensive coordinator. You need a fiery coach for a locker room like that. You got a lot of personalities in there. You need somebody who's strong.
Now let's go ahead and break it up with the sports a little bit, because we're gonna do a little movie review. For everybody that's watching this may not be a sports fan. These may play in the background, but I recently watched a movie. It's called 1917.
I didn't see it.
My mind, well, you don't have to see it. I'm going to give it a review for you. You're going to feel like you was at the movie theaters with me. My mind was blown. Now, I understand why they got the best picture. I understand that, all right? It was a masterpiece. As far as film work, as far as, like, just taking me to that time period, they did some crazy thing where, like, the camera never made a cut. It, like, seemed like it followed the main character from start to finish. It's only a few points in the movie that really ruined it for me. They're going into this tunnel, right? Everybody just like, I'm gonna take you there. They're going into this tunnel with bunk beds. He's like, yo, they got bunk beds. It's kind of fresh. I'm like, all right, it's getting cool. Next thing you know, he's like, hey, mate, bring out a flashlight, mate. And the homie pulls out like an iPhone 8. He's like, hey, mate, we're on film now.
See, so I cannot dispute it. So I did not see this film.
Hey, mate, we're on film now. Mate, pull out the flashlight. Homie pulls out a flashlight. I pulled my phone out in theaters. I said, yo, it's in 1917. They got flashlights?
Existed?
I didn't know. Flashlights were actually made in 1899. Man. I said, yo, there's some
interesting stuff about flashlights being made back in the BCs out in Egypt and stuff.
So he pulled out a flashlight, right? Crazy. That blew my mind. Another thing that blew my mind was he was getting into a caravan. It was an Indian dude in a all-white caravan, 1917. Excuse my language. I'm not even gonna say that because I'm trying to get YouTube sponsorships. But it was an Indian dude in the back of an all-white caravan. Everybody was acting like it was normal.
There was Middle Eastern people
in
Great Britain back then,
let's be politically correct.
Yeah. There was Middle Eastern people back then in Britain.
Would they be riding the same truck as a white guy?
Listen, they were putting black soldiers on the front lines in both wars.
No shit.
Exactly.
Why do you think that is? Why? Whose lives can we spare in 1917?
Exactly. So you asking me.
So they ain't riding in the caravan.
So you're asking me if one of the big powers, one of the great powers back then, would have been putting a second-class citizen, what they believe to be a second-class citizen, in their war? Hell yeah, you could serve.
But would he be in a caravan with all the white guys? No.
That's part of the movie, man.
No.
That's the movie part. He's in war.
Would he wear a turban?
He found his way.
Would he wear? You
can't really tell him no. It's his religion.
Yeah, you can. Yo, they just started letting terabans and hijabs in the thing.
Bro, it's World War I. Either we say no, you can't wear your shit, and you say, all right, I'm not serving you, I'm going to lock me up, or we just say, fuck it, you're going to die anyway.
They just started putting it. They just started letting you wear head wraps.
That's for regular service. Like, oh, I'm just at a base somewhere. Like, yeah, sure. But if you out in war, if we deployed into a World War III, and they were just like, it's a draft, everybody got to go, and somebody was like, I can't go unless I can wear my thing, they'd be like, all right, fuck it, you gonna die anyway.
They just started doing that in like 2007. They just started letting you have head wraps like 2007. They just started it. So no, it wasn't happening in 1917.
Was there a draft in the past 50 years?
It don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have ripped it right off your head.
I don't think so.
I know so. You don't.
It's a movie though. There's other.
Okay, that's all I want to say. The movie was not politically correct.
You watch a movie about space and everybody speaks English. Like what the fuck? You gonna nitpick those?
How we know they don't speak English in space?
I know they don't speak English when the motherfucker is blue with tentacles and shit. I know he ain't speaking English.
How we know it might have been a Rosetta Stone that floated up in that motherfucker. He picked it up.
You talking about movies that aren't even based on Earth. It's just humans in a different universe and they still speaking English.
And I nitpicked those too, but I'm saying it's supposed to be a masterpiece. This won Golden Globes. Mm-hmm. This one, so I'm thinking it's going to be a movie that's not even going to, I'm not even going to second guess, but when the Indian dude was on the back of the caravan with all the white guys and his hijab, I'm like, bro, that's not even realistic.
Without seeing it, I think I kind of assume that it would be the same thing as Dunkirk. Dunkirk, another war movie, right? And war movies can be great. Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket, Saving Private Ryan. Those are a couple that come to mind that are like extremely great war movies, right? With a great story, a great plot, great a political message sometimes, or just great meaning behind it. Dunkirk was a movie I saw last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I don't remember, but I saw that movie, and it was the same thing. Visually great, beautiful movie. The score was great. Some of the pacing, the intensity of it was really good. And if you saw it in IMAX, it was like really good. But the story was nothing. We have a bunch of dudes on a beach. We need to get them evacuated. That was the entire story.
Do you feel some way as a black man that there's never any black people in this movie?
No, because you don't want
people like me.
No. What you complaining about with the Indian dude?
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. I thought it was realistic.
You nitpicking and saying the Indian dude on the caravan is unrealistic. If you had a story about some black soldiers who were heroes or some shit in World War I, it would be kind of unrealistic. If you had a black war movie other than like Red Tails with the Tuskegee Airmen and stuff,
we respect Red Tails.
Yeah, other than a movie like that, right? If you had like a movie like, oh, this is the front lines, this was a black battalion on the front lines in World War II, right, when it was kind of segregated. It would be very depressing. It would be a bunch of generals like, nope, you guys got to go in first.
So, yeah, send them blackies out first. So you part of the culture that want to rewrite the history books, and
I'm saying you don't. I'm saying that's why you don't have a black movie. You don't rewrite the history book, because then people will be like, oh, that's not realistic. And at the same time, if they made it realistic, you'd watch and be like, this movie is depressing as shit.
Okay, just because depressing. So what you saying in high school they shouldn't teach about slavery because that's depressing?
They should, but they shouldn't make a big budget Hollywood film about it and market it like, oh, this is gonna be a beautifully directed war movie, because then you go in and you be like, everybody's just treating the black people like shit, and they just killed all of them. It'd be like a 30-minute movie.
Keep it real, keep it funky.
Keep it real, but I don't know. Maybe you could do it. Maybe you could make a great story about it and kind of make it like a Saving Private Ryan, where most of everybody dies because it's war anyway. But
so that's pretty much my 1917 review. It was directed beautifully. If you really like a movie buff, you want to see a great directed movie, go to that.
I'm a movie buff.
See it.
I hate movies like that.
It didn't have no plot.
I want to see a good plot.
It didn't have no plot. It seemed unrealistic with the flashlights, and the iPhone fell out of the guy's pocket one time. He said, "Oh, Crocky, mate, my iPhone fell out." I said, "What the hell going on?"
I can see a beautifully directed film with minimal plot sometimes, and I won't enjoy it, but I can watch it and leave and say, maybe that wasn't good, but it still was beautiful. But I always want to see a good plot. I want to see a good storyline. And I'm a movie buff, so I don't really care for movies like that and Dunkirk and stuff, especially when they're marketed as a best picture. If people just say it's a good movie, fine.
And best picture is supposedly supposed to be like overall,
encompass all of it.
Yeah, and that was not. All of it. Nah, I'm good on that, boss.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go on. That was just a quick little movie review on the movie we saw this week. We'll probably do a movie review every week, but that was 1917.
Game should win Best Picture.
All right, 1917. I'm going to give it a solid. I'm gonna give it a solid not a C, because just based on the masterpiece it was, I'm gonna give it a B. But
out of 10,
it was seven out of 10. Okay. That means like you can watch on Netflix. But if you don't have like a
I'm sure if you go see IMAX with the speakers and the big screen, you probably be like,
Yeah, if you don't have a 60-inch, TV, don't do it. But so that's my little movie review. Moving on to the next topic here, which is gonna be the NBA, because we probably about an hour.
Did you see Star Wars yet?
Nah, I haven't seen Star Wars yet. I
plan
plan on
to see it.
It's trash.
I
fuck with Star Wars. I like Star Trek better, but Star Trek been asleep for a couple months now.
It's enjoyable, but there's plot holes and stuff. So if you're a deep Star Wars fan,
let's go on to the NBA, not the WNBA, but the NBA. My first topic, written in question: does Josh Richardson hurt the Sixers? And I'm going to explain that, because a lot of people say, "Yo, Josh just won Eastern Player of the Week. How's he hurting the Sixers?" Josh has made a bunch of negative comments revolving around the Sixers locker room conduct, saying things like the Sixers don't care if they lose. The Sixers aren't playing hard enough. The Sixers don't do. And I'm here to say, my man, You know you getting paid less than everybody on the team. You know you not a like. If this was a normal job, I'd be looking at my coworker Josh like, Josh, you know you're not a manager, right? Because you talking to me like you a manager. You trying to tell me how I can improve. We on the same level. Yo, we made it to the playoffs. We made it 1 second within. What was that? Was that the NBA Finals or the Eastern Conference?
The semifinals.
We made it 1 second within the Eastern Conference without you, my dog. And we gonna be there with or without you, because can't nobody touch the Sixers this year. Period. But for you to be bringing this negative energy, yeah, we lose games, but we don't really care about what seed we're gonna get. They're the 6th seed right now. The Sixers are the 6th seed. They do not care. Playoffs come, throw it to Embiid in the post, throw it to Ben Simmons in the post. These boys gonna eat. They don't care about what seed they are. Josh Richardson is fucking up the group dynamic. If you trade Josh right now, you get 3-4 bench pieces and you'll be good.
I would agree with that if their coach was not Brett Brown. If you watch the Sixers play, there has been maybe 2 games. What are we in now? Game 50 of the NBA season?
Just about.
Yeah, and there's maybe been 2 or 3 games where they took that approach where Brett Brown said, fuck it, we got Embiid. Nobody can guard him on the block. Dump it off. Let him go to work. He is not a good... And you mentioned that series last year against the Raptors. Now, Kawhi went on a tear. The Raptors deserved the championship. They didn't deserve
the championship, but keep going.
They deserve the championship.
You deserve a championship with 3 motherfucking 3 of the best players get hurt.
First of all, Steph and Clay played most of the series.
Clay was hurt.
Steph and Clay played most of
Clay had 13
series. In my opinion, I think that the Toronto Raptors would have won even if the Warriors were entirely healthy.
Whoa.
Durant has nothing for Kawhi.
Oh,
on offense or defense.
Oh,
he has nothing for Kawhi. Because Durant is mentally weak. It's not about him being 6'11" with his skill set, right? Durant is mentally weak. If you throw Durant, I've seen Patrick Beverley throw Durant over. In the first round series last year, they won 6 games because Patrick Beverley was in Durant's head. Patrick Beverley's 6'1". He's not athletic. He's just a pest.
You bulldog.
Exactly.
I ain't mad at that.
Kawhi is not even a bulldog. He's more of the Dennis Rodman mold, where it's like, I'm defending you. I'm locking you up. What you gonna do about it? I'm not even gonna talk. I ain't gonna say shit. I'm just locking you up. What you gonna do about it? And star players like Kevin Durant hate that shit. They cannot stand it, right? So I think it would have at least been a 7-game, 6-game series, right? I'd still think Toronto would have won, but I think it might have been closer.
You may be one of the only people on earth who think Toronto would have won that game.
I think I am, but I think
games.
I think Kawhi is a better player than Durant. I think he would have neutralized Durant. And then you had the Raptors firing on all cylinders. Spicy P was balling. Lowry was doing his thing. Van Vliet. So I think the Raptors might have been able to get.
So just real quick, Kawhi in your mind is what in NBA? He's number 1.
Because LeBron is looking revived, I think Kawhi's number 2.
So
right now, I can't really give it to Kawhi as number 2 because he's on the load management.
The skipping around the question. Who was number 1, regardless of any load management injury? Who's number 1?
Well, you asked me who was Kawhi. You said where's Kawhi? You didn't ask who's number 1.
Where is Kawhi right now?
So I'd say LeBron number 1. I'd say Harden number 2, just because he can carry a team to a victory, even though Kawhi can. He takes games off. He just doesn't play. Which I know is going to change.
We backpedaling. Go ahead.
No, I know it's going to change, but Kawhi, when he's on the court, is number 2. So I'll give it to Kawhi. When he's on the court, he's number 2. I take him over.
Where's the freak?
The freak is 2A.
2A? So where's Harden? You got Harden at 3rd?
Yeah.
You taking Kawhi over Harden?
I take Kawhi or the freak over Harden, yes.
Who?
What's Harden going to do for me on defense? And what's he going to do in the big games?
You saying Harden don't lock up? You saying Harden don't lock up?
You saying Harden does?
I ain't saying he does, but I ain't saying he don't.
You saying Harden does?
I ain't seen Harden lock up since he been in the league, but
I ain't seen nobody.
Sometimes your best defense.
I see reports that said LeBron is scared to guard Kawhi. Kawhi is a basketball robot.
No. But Lou Williams called that cap, and Lou Williams on the same team as Kawhi. I know what reports are talking about, but Lou Williams said, "Yo, that's cap." He said Kawhi never said that.
Yeah, but that don't sound like something Kawhi said. But if you watch the games, LeBron does not want to guard him.
Anything Kawhi say don't sound like something Kawhi said.
Yeah, but if like the board man gets paid,
hey,
the board man gets paid. But look, if you watch the games, LeBron does not want to guard Kawhi. And that's been true for most of LeBron's career. He didn't want to guard Durant in the finals.
Bro, it's the Jimmer Fredette effect. In college, BYU, the coach did not let Jimmer play defense at all. He said, yo, we need you on offense so bad.
I'm not disagreeing.
Not play defense.
I'm not saying LeBron should guard the best player because he shouldn't. It's a waste of his energy. It's just true in his career, though. He doesn't typically match up with
because
the best
always
player.
Someone on the team who should be sticking that guy.
Exactly.
But it's not LeBron. But you know what? When LeBron said, yo, nobody can stick Derrick Rose 2011, I'm going to step up. I'm going to do my thing.
That is the only time I've seen LeBron.
That's the only time he needed to.
Yeah, that's the only time I've seen LeBron say.
When else has LeBron had to step up and stick the best player? When else?
He could have taken out Paul George when they messed around with Indiana a couple times.
They still won. I'm talking about when they lost. Because you don't give me examples when they won.
They beat Chicago in 5 games.
Don't give me examples when they won because the game plan still worked. So when
they
lost,
Rose, they beat them in 5 games.
When they lost,
that wasn't even a tough series.
When they lost, when would you have said, "Yo, LeBron, you should have kind of stepped up and stick Steph"?
Durant.
Like,
I would say get on Durant.
Who was on Durant instead?
They had J.R. Smith guarding Durant, who's not even a defender.
Oh, that's false. J.R. Smith.
I watched again. They had J.R. and Rodney Hood on Kevin Durant. Those aren't even defenders. Bro, they're decent. They're decent, but they can't match up with Durant. But anyway, moving forward. Yeah, I'll take Kawhi and the Freak over Harden.
All right.
I will, man.
So as far as the Sixers go, this is what we're talking about. I think the only problem for the Sixers is they should probably trade Embiid.
No. Listen,
they got to fix that log jam. They look way better without Embiid right now because, Embiid displayed his fingers. His fingers all messed up.
Yeah.
They look way better on Embiid right now.
It's not a log jam. Listen, if you had a better coach, Embiid would be a monster. Because look, if you watched the playoffs last year, I watched every single game with the Sixers versus the Raptors. Raptors were the NBA champions, right? So by default, they were the best team in the league. Sixers went toe to toe with them. They could have won that series in 5 or 6 games if Embiid had been in the post instead of on the perimeter. In Game 7, I think Embiid was like 1 of 11 with 6 shots from the 3-point line at like halftime. Where he's floating, and that whole entire game, he was just floating. He was setting a pick, popping out, and just floating on 3. He's 7'1", 280.
If that boy
amazing footwork. He can't shoot that damn good. He ain't Steph Curry. The boy's 7'1", 280, amazing footwork. Throw him down low. He can get a bucket or a foul.
That boy can
every
shoot.
single time.
Now I agree with you. I do agree. I'm not going to disagree with you, but
he should be crashing to the hole. He should be crashing to the hole. And a better coach would see that. A better coach would say, listen, when it's crunch time, when we need a bucket, Embiid should be getting the ball.
So you think the only problem with the Sixers is Brett Brown?
Not the only problem, but I think they can overcome.
I'm asking you, what's the other problems? So
the other problems
disregard Brett Brown. What's the other problem?
Other problems are perimeter shooting.
Not going to get it unless you trade somebody. You got to move some pieces.
No, but I'm saying I think they can overcome those deficiencies if they had a better coach. If you could feed Embiid, right, that opens up the perimeter shoot because they don't. It's not like they have horrible shooters. They have some guys who can make some shots. But if you're not throwing it, if Embiid's out on the perimeter, and I watched the game where they had Embiid and Al Horford in the game at the same time. And they both were on the 3-point line. That makes no sense. One of them.
That's because they both shoot better than Ben. So yeah, Ben should not be on the 3-point line.
No, it doesn't matter. Ben's the point guard.
Ben is not a point guard.
All right, whatever. We'll discuss that some other time.
Discuss that another time.
Listen, you got a 6'10" dude who can make great shots around the hoop. You have a 7'1" dude who can make great shots around the hoop. There's no reason. Now listen, when they throw to Anthony Davis on the wing. And he dribbles and goes to the hole and gets a bucket, it's different because Anthony Davis got skills. When you throw it to Joel Embiid on the perimeter and he has to dribble a couple times before he can get to the paint, that's bad coaching. He should already be getting the ball in the paint. Then you can make some moves.
So if you were Brett Brown, would just break down the offense right now for me.
Move Embiid closer. The way they already operate is okay.
So where is everybody? No, tell me where's everybody's start 5 going to be? Where's Ben going to be? Where's Tobias going to be? Where's Josh going to be? Blah, blah, break it down.
If you watch the Sixers play.
We do, because they're on TV every fucking night.
Most of their possessions go something like this, right? Let's just say it's their starting lineup on the floor. Ben, Josh Richardson, Embiid, Horford, and Tobias, right? Tobias is on the perimeter. Obviously. Josh is on the perimeter.
Okay.
Embiid's on the perimeter.
Okay.
Al's down low. Ben's bringing the ball up. Now look, you could easily run a set out of that four. You could easily run it out of that four out, one in, where you
personally put Horford in the paint and Joel outside the paint.
No, I'm saying you could easily in that set, right? How the way that they run it, have Al come up for Ben and set a pick, right? You could have Embiid crash into the hole, right? Or you could just have Ben take the pick and have a play where Embiid comes across and calls for the ball. A lot of the times, they run a pick and roll with Horford.
Oh, Star Wars. I like Star Trek better, but Star Trek been asleep for a couple months now.
It's enjoyable, but there's plot holes and stuff. So, if you're a deep Star Wars fan,
let's go on to the NBA, not the WNBA, but the NBA. My first topic, written in question: does Josh Richardson hurt the Sixers? And I'm going to explain that because a lot of people say, "Yo, Josh just won Eastern Player of the Week. How's he hurting the Sixers?" Josh has made a bunch of negative comments revolving around the Sixers' locker room conduct, saying things like the Sixers don't care if they lose. The Sixers aren't playing hard enough. The Sixers don't do... And I'm here to say, my man, you're getting paid less than everybody on the team. You're not a... Like, if this was a normal job, I'd be looking at my coworker Josh like, Josh, you're not a manager, right? Because you're talking to me like you're a manager. You're trying to tell me how I can improve. We on the same level. Yo, we made it to the playoffs. We made it 1 second within... What was that? Was that the NBA Finals or the Eastern Conference?
The semifinals.
We made it 1 second within the Eastern Conference without you, my dog. And we going to be there with or without you because can't nobody touch the Sixers this year, period. But for you to be bringing this negative energy, yeah, we lose games, but we don't really care about what seed we're going to get. They're the 6th seed right now, and the Sixers are the 6th seed. They do not care. Playoffs come, throw it to Embiid in the post, throw it to Ben Simmons in the post, these boys going to eat. They don't care about what seed they are. Josh Richardson is fucking up the group dynamic. If you trade Josh right now, you get 3-4 bench pieces, and you'll be good.
I would agree with that if their coach was not Brett Brown. If you watch the Sixers play, there has been maybe 2 games. What are we in now? Game 50 of the NBA season?
Just about.
Yeah, and there's maybe been 2 or 3 games where they took that approach where Brett Brown said, fuck it, we got Embiid. Nobody can guard him on the block. Dump it off. Let him go to work. He is not a good... And you mentioned that series last year against the Raptors. Now, Kawhi went on a tear. The Raptors deserved the championship. They ain't deserve
the championship, but keep going.
They deserve the championship.
You deserve a championship with 3 of the best players get hurt.
First of all, Steph and Clay played most of the series.
Clay was hurt.
Steph and Clay played most of
Clay had 13
series. In my opinion, I think that the Toronto Raptors would have won even if the Warriors were entirely healthy.
Whoa.
Durant has nothing for Kawhi.
Oh,
on offense or defense.
Oh,
he has nothing for Kawhi. Because Durant is mentally weak. It's not about him being 6'11" with his skill set, right? Durant is mentally weak. If you throw Durant, I've seen Patrick Beverley throw Durant over. In the first round series last year, they went 6 games because Patrick Beverley was in Durant's head. Patrick Beverley's 6'1". He's not athletic. He's just a pest.
You're bulldog.
Exactly.
I ain't mad at that.
Kawhi is not even a bulldog. He's more of the Dennis Rodman mold, where it's like, I'm defending you. I'm locking you up. What you gonna do about it? I'm not even gonna talk. I ain't gonna say shit. I'm just locking you up. What you gonna do about it? And star players like Kevin Durant hate that shit. They cannot stand it, right? So I think it would have at least been a 7-game, 6-game series, right? I'd still think Toronto would have won, but I think it might have been closer.
You may be one of the only people on earth who think Toronto would have won that game.
I think I am, but I think
one of those games.
I think Kawhi is a better player than Durant. I think he would have neutralized Durant. And then you had the Raptors firing on all cylinders. Spicy P was balling. Lowry was doing his thing. Van Vliet. So I think the Raptors might have been able to get.
So just real quick, Kawhi in your mind is what in NBA? He's number 1.
Because LeBron is looking revived, I think Kawhi's number 2.
So
well,
LeBron's
right now,
number 1.
I can't really give it to Kawhi as number 2 because he's
Lord
on the
Jesus.
load management.
The skipping around the question. Who was number 1, regardless of any load management injury? Who's number 1?
When you asked me who was Kawhi, you said where's Kawhi? You didn't ask who's number 1.
Where is Kawhi right now?
So I'd say LeBron number 1. I'd say Harden number 2, just because he can carry a team to a victory. Even though Kawhi can, he takes games off. He just doesn't play. Which I know is going to change.
We backpedaling. Go ahead.
No, I know it's going to change, but Kawhi, when he's on the court, is number 2. So I'll give it to Kawhi. When he's on the court, he's number 2. I take him over.
Where's the freak?
The freak is 2A.
2A? So where's Harden? You got Harden at 3rd?
Yeah.
You taking Kawhi over Harden?
I take Kawhi or the freak over Harden, yes.
Who?
What's Harden going to do for me on defense? And what's he going to do in the big games?
You saying Harden don't lock up? You saying Harden don't lock up?
You saying Harden does?
I ain't saying he does, but I ain't saying he don't.
You saying Harden does?
I ain't seen Harden lock up since he been in the league, but
I ain't seen nobody.
Sometimes your best defense is good offense.
I've seen reports that said LeBron is scared to guard Kawhi. Kawhi is a basketball robot.
No. But Lou Williams called that cap, and Lou Williams on the same team as Kawhi. I know what reports talking about, but Lou Williams said, "Yo, that's cap." He said Kawhi never said that.
Yeah, but that don't sound like something Kawhi said. But if you watch the games, LeBron does not want to guard him.
Anything Kawhi say don't sound like something Kawhi said.
Yeah, but if like the board man gets paid,
hey,
the board man gets paid. But look, if you watch the games, LeBron does not want to guard Kawhi, and that's been true for most of LeBron's career. He didn't want to guard Durant in the finals.
Bro, it's the Jimmer Fredette effect. In college, BYU, the coach did not let Jimmer play defense at all. He said, "Yo, we need you on offense so bad.
I'm not disagreeing.
Not play defense."
I'm not saying LeBron should guard the best player because he shouldn't. It's a waste of his energy. It's just true in his career though. He doesn't typically match up.
Because
with
always somebody on the team who should be sticking that guy.
Exactly.
But it's not LeBron. But you know what? When LeBron said, "Yo, nobody can stick Derrick Rose," 2011. I'm going to step up. I'm going to do my thing.
That is the only time I've seen LeBron.
That's the only time he needed to.
Yeah, that's the only time I've seen LeBron say.
When else has LeBron had to step up and stick the best player? When else?
He could have taken out Paul George when they messed around with Indiana a couple times.
They still won. I'm talking about when they lost. Because you don't give me examples when they won.
They beat Chicago in 5 games.
Don't give me examples when they won because the game plan still worked. So when
they
lost,
Rose, they beat them in 5 games.
When they lost,
that wasn't even a tough series.
When they lost, when would you have said, "Yo, LeBron, you should have kind of stepped up and stick Steph"?
Durant. I would say get on Durant.
Who was on Durant instead?
They had J.R. Smith guarding Durant, who's not even a defender.
Oh, that's false. J.R. Smith.
I watched it. They had J.R. and Rodney Hood on Kevin Durant. Those aren't even defenders. Bro, they're decent. Hurt. They're decent, but they can't match up with Durant. But anyway, moving forward. Yeah, I'll take Kawhi and the freak over Harden.
All right.
I will, man.
So as far as the Sixers go, this is what we're talking about. I think the only problem for the Sixers is they should probably trade Embiid.
No. Listen,
they got to fix that log jam. They look way better without Embiid right now. Because, Embiid dislocated his fingers. His fingers all messed up.
Yeah.
They look way better on Embiid right now.
It's not a log jam. Listen, if you had a better coach, Embiid would be a monster. Because look, if you watched the playoffs last year, I watched every single game with the Sixers versus the Raptors. Raptors were the NBA champions, right? So by default, they were the best team in the league. Sixers went toe to toe with them. They could have won that series in 5 or 6 games if Embiid had been in the post instead of on the perimeter. In Game 7, I think Embiid was like 1 of 11 with 6 shots from the 3-point line at like halftime. Where he's floating, and that whole entire game, he was just floating. He was setting a pick, popping out, and just floating on 3. He's 7'1", 280.
If that boy
amazing footwork. He can't shoot that damn good. He ain't Steph Curry. The boy's 7'1", 280, amazing footwork. Go to him down low. He can get a bucket or a foul.
That boy can
every
shoot.
Single time.
Now I agree with you. I do agree. I'm not going to disagree with you, but
he should be crashing to the hole. He should be crashing to the hole. And a better coach would see that. A better coach would say, listen, when it's crunch time, when we need a bucket, Embiid should be getting the ball.
So you think the only problem with the Sixers is Brett Brown?
Not the only problem, but I think they can overcome.
I'm actually, what's the other problems? So
the other problem.
Disregard Brett Brown. What's the other problem?
Other problems are perimeter shooting.
Not going to get it unless you trade somebody. You got to move some pieces.
No, but I'm saying I think they can overcome those deficiencies if they had a better coach. If you could feed Embiid, right, that opens up the perimeter shoot because they don't. It's not like they have horrible shooters. They have some guys who can make some shots. But if you not throwing it, if Embiid's out on the perimeter, and I watched the game where they had Embiid and Al Horford in the game at the same time, and they both were on the 3-point line. That makes no sense. One of them.
That's because they both shoot better than Ben. So yeah, Ben should not be on the 3-point line.
No, it doesn't matter. Ben's the point guard.
Ben is not a point guard.
All right, whatever. We'll discuss that some other time.
Discuss that another time.
Listen, you got a 6'10" dude who can make great shots around the hoop. You have a 7'1" dude who can make great shots around the hoop. There's no reason. Now listen, when they throw to Anthony Davis on the wing and he dribbles and goes to the hole and gets a bucket, it's different because Anthony Davis got skills. When you throw it to Joel Embiid on the perimeter and he has to dribble a couple times before he can get to the paint, that's bad coaching. He should not. He should already be getting the ball in the paint. Then you can make some moves.
So if you were Brett Brown, would just break down the offense right now for me.
Move Embiid closer. The way they already operate is okay.
So So where's everybody? No, tell me where's everybody start 5 going to be? Where's Ben going to be? Where's Tobias going to be? Where's Josh going to be? Blah blah. Break it down.
If you watch the Sixers play,
we do because they're on TV every fucking night.
Most of their possessions go something like this, right? Let's just say it's their starting lineup on the floor: Ben, Josh Richardson, Embiid, Horford, and Tobias. Okay. Right? Tobias is on the perimeter.
Obviously.
Josh is on the perimeter.
Okay.
Embiid's on the perimeter.
Okay.
Al's down low. Ben's bringing the ball up. Now look, you could easily run a set out of that 4. You could easily run it out of that 4 out, 1 in. Where you personally put Horford in the paint and Joel outside the paint? No, I'm saying you could easily in that set, right? How the way that they run it, have Al come up for Ben and set a pick, right? You could have Embiid crash into the hole, right? Or you could just have Ben take the pick and have a play where Embiid comes across and calls for the ball. A lot of the times they run a pick and roll with Horford or Tobias.
Horford, hold on.
With Tobias on the sideline or on the 3-point line or whatever, and then you just have you have Embiid crash to the hoop, or other way around. Maybe you have Ben run a pick and roll with Embiid, but you got to find some way to have Embiid catch the ball inside of the 3-point line, inside the arc. Because when you watch the Sixers now, they give it to him outside and ask him to dribble the ball a lot. Like it makes no sense. The guy's 7'1", like I said, 280. Amazing footwork down low. Nobody can really guard him down there, to be honest. There's a couple guys who can neutralize him. They can score back. He's not an amazing defender. But all you got to do is get the ball to Embiid inside the 3-point line. It doesn't have to be necessarily on the block like Shaq. You could just get it to him somewhere inside. And he could even dribble and make a move from around a free throw line or something like that. You just have to move him closer to the basket. It's not Ben. It's not Ben who can't shoot, who's not being a true point guard. Because we've seen a championship team with Rajon Rondo who couldn't shoot, and everybody said, "Oh, well, Rondo can shoot when you need it."
Don't ever in your life disrespect playoff Rondo. Don't ever in your life.
Oh, Rondo can shoot when you need it. When they actually won a championship, no, he could not. He didn't shoot. He was not going to shoot. They brought in Sam Cassell off the bench to shoot because Rondo could not. So don't even try it. But look, he's the point guard. He's a traditional point guard. He's not looking to score, but he can get everybody on the team a bucket. He can get you open. He can get you a bucket.
Traditional point guards still win nowadays? Just a quick question.
I don't know yet because the last couple championship winning point guards have been Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving. Even before that, it was Tony Parker, who wasn't really traditional, but that's more of minutes restriction and Spurs team basketball type of stuff. But maybe a traditional guy can win. I think with the Sixers you could have one because Embiid's a dominant guy. You don't need Ben to be dominant.
All right, as we're coming to an end here, we have one more fan question since the WNBA question went so well. We have one more fan question as to the fact of in today's world.
Jesus Christ.
In today's world, as far as Tinder, you got Bumble, you got things of that nature. What classifies as cheating? What's cheating? If your chick's on Tinder, she's on there. Oh, babe, I like the attention. Is that cheating? She cheating on you?
It's not cheating, but I would break up. Technically, it's not cheating unless you're doing. If if you talking back and forth and
so garnishing another man's attention is not cheating.
Not necessarily. If I go out to the bar with my chick or whatever, and some other dude's hitting on her, and he buys her a drink, they don't exchange numbers. They don't.
But she flirting. She trailing to her.
Look. They don't exchange numbers. They don't exchange names. None of that. They just kind of flirting, and he buys her a drink or something, and then she brings it back over to me, and we continue our night.
You know, that's how I got roofied one time. Same scenario. I got roofied.
You say you got roofied.
I got roofied. Woke up in some dude's bed. Pause.
Okay.
My butthole was not hurting.
Pause it right there.
My butthole was not hurting.
Whew. But I wouldn't classify it as cheating, right? Because she didn't do anything. She didn't even keep communication with the dude.
No, if your girl's on Tinder, that's not cheating.
No. I'm saying it's the same thing. So it depends on what she's doing. Like I said, if I'm at the bar with my chick and some dude's like, oh, he's talking to her, talking shit or whatever, and buys her a drink, and then she comes back over to me. Whatever, right? Like, it happened. She didn't do anything. She got a free drink. We continued our night. But if she's on Tinder and she's just like, I like the attention. I like, getting likes and people messaging me. But you look on her Tinder, there's no replies. There's no messages or anything like that. And she's just, she's just on there for the attention.
So why can't you give her that attention? Why can't you give her that attention?
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if that's what your chick is doing, and she's just on Tinder, I just like the attention and people matching with me or whatever, that's not necessarily cheating. Now, she's on there, if she's replying and stuff, and she's having conversation with the dudes, exchanging Instagram, stuff like that, that's cheating. Sure.
Let me ask you a question.
I wouldn't still be... Now, a different question, though, I wouldn't still be with the chick, right? If she was on Tinder and she's like... But she's like, I just like the attention, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'd say delete the Tinder or, I'm out. Right? Because you don't need it. You shouldn't need it. I would be giving you the attention.
Say you out in Paris. No, not in Paris, but you out in New York, right? It's you got your homies there. She got her chicks there. Y'all been drinking. Everybody drinks the pregame. And you're in New York, so the pregame will start till 11. You don't go out till 1. Y'all turned up. Next thing you turn around, she lip locked with a whole nother brother.
That's cheating.
That's cheating. A kiss on a drunk night.
Especially while I'm there, right? While I'm there.
That's how you know she drunk. She said, "Oh
no." That's how you know she don't have no respect.
Oh Mo, I didn't mean to.
That's how you know she don't got no respect, right? See, not gonna say like I would still keep the chick if she went out with her chick friends and she went out and kissed somebody or something, hooked up with some dude or whatever, right? I'm not gonna be like, that's a different scenario. I wasn't there, right? Because that's still the same thing.
Oh, so you saying if you wasn't there, what we talking about?
If I wasn't there, right?
You gonna give her a pass?
No. I'm saying I wouldn't give her a pass. I'm not saying it's a different thing, but me being there makes it worse. Both of them are bad, and I'm still dropping the chick, but me being there makes it worse.
Kansas City spreads just came across the table for all my bettors.
7.5.
7.5. Kansas City. San Fran 7.5.
I'll take Green Bay.
Whoa. Green Bay plus 300. Yeah, I would take Green Bay for that.
Green Bay plus
for the money.
290.
Let's see. FBI chance to win Green Bay is sitting at
28%.
28% for Green Bay to win.
I like
it's
Green
very
Bay
plausible.
versus Kansas. I said it in the preseason. I said in the NFL's 100th season. Not to say that it's rigged or the NFL creates all the storylines and all this type of stuff.
Oh, so you a third.
I'm saying it's not. It's not that way. The NFL is not rigged. There's not a bunch of storylines in the NFL. Oh, wait, we can run with this, and we're going to just rig it so that people want to watch more, right?
Makes sense, though. For it to be Kansas City versus... What was it the first year? Kansas City versus San Fran?
No, the first Super Bowl was Kansas City versus Green Bay. So in the preseason, I said not that it's just a great storyline. The NFL's rigged.
Not that it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, not as a conspiracy theory, but in the 100th season... You got 2-star QBs. Green Bay's with a resurgence. Kansas City's already dominant. I said it'll be a rematch of Super Bowl 1 in the NFL's 100th season. And lo and behold, we're right here. Could happen. I think that it's very likely that it'll happen.
Probably so. I mean, San Fran
is very good.
They're decent.
But
if they were to make it to the playoff, if they were to make it to the Super Bowl, they'd probably be one of the best Super Bowl teams to make it in the last 10 years.
Last 3 years?
The last 10 years, they'd probably be one of the best Super Bowl teams to make it in the last 10 years. What's a better Super Bowl team to make it than San Fran?
The Falcons team that lost.
That lost?
Yeah, yes.
So how the fuck are they good that they lost?
Because that was more... How is San Francisco good if they end up going to the Super Bowl and losing? You said just makes it to the Super Bowl.
They have a way better roster than the Atlanta Falcons did.
No, they don't.
Wow.
The Falcons were a dominant team that year.
Wow.
San Francisco was good, but they were dominant for the first half of the season. Second half of the season, it was more of like, okay, we play some close games and we win, right? So I'll say the Falcons team, the Eagles team that won, the Patriots team that beat the Falcons team was really good. You got the Legion of Boom, the Broncos team that lost the Legion of Boom. Peyton Manning had 55 touchdowns that year, and the defense was top 10 as well. The 2015 Broncos. There's a lot of teams that were better than this San Francisco team.
I give you Legion of Boom. I give you 2011 Giants. No, even though you didn't say that. No. Even though you didn't say that, but you
the 2011 Giants are not better than the San Francisco. The 2011 Giants weren't even better than the San Francisco 49ers team that they beat.
I give you Legion of Boom. I give you 2011 Giants, even though you failed to mention it. And I give you the Broncos when Peyton had that magical year. I give you those three teams. Everybody else you said, they'd be going to war right now with that Sanford. I don't think it's a lot of people that can handle Joey Bosa.
I think Tom Brady, either one of the Tom Brady teams, pick one. The one that beat the Seattle Seahawks or the one that beat the Atlanta Falcons. Either one of those teams would handily beat the San Francisco team. Not blow them out, but maybe they'll win by 7. Win by 7 to 10 points.
You saying Jimmy ain't good?
No, but Jimmy is the weak link. But he is good. But I think that San Francisco could be outcoached. I think that a team with more grit, more determination could handle them. 7 to 10 points. I think the Patriots would have won. One of those Tom Brady teams. The Falcons team could have gotten past these dudes, coached by Kyle Shanahan on offense. Right? They could have gotten past these dudes. The 2015 Broncos, one of the greatest defenses of all time, would have beaten these guys. The 2013 Broncos, one of the greatest offenses of all time, would have beat these guys. Legion of Boom would have beat them. That Eagles championship team would have beat them. 2011 Giants are not even worth mentioning.
Why are we always disrespecting the Giants?
Because, now listen, both of those teams had solid defenses. But the 2011 Giants weren't even better than the San Francisco 49ers that they beat that year. The punt returner for the 49ers fumbled 3 times in one game. Right? And they won in overtime. It took them overtime to win it. If he just holds on to one of those balls and the 49ers get a field goal in regulation. Yeah, exactly. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. They still got the ring. But they're not worth mentioning as, this is one of the greatest teams of the past decade. Hell no. Absolutely not.
Well, I am happy we had that discussion.
Yeah,
but
fuck the Giants.
So for your Super Bowl, who do you think is winning the Super Bowl this year? Let's just
Kansas City Chiefs. Andy's finally going to get his ring.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a hell of a game between the Chiefs and the Packers.
We shall see, and we shall be here next week, a.k.a. the 302 Podcast, a.k.a. Coach, he is trash. And we'll see you next week.
New name coming soon.
Probably not, but we'll see you next week for the next episode. Adios, amigos, from the mole, and it's only 1 a.m.
And special shout out to our third host, Scotty Tuhati, who is battling a sickness called bitchitis.
Bitchitis, a.k.a.
scheduling conflicts.
Scheduling conflicts, even though he told us he was free this night. So
yeah, so who knows when we'll see the pale assassin come through. It might be next week, might be 2 weeks from now, might be never. Who knows?
We're out of here.